70?
70 miles per hour. That's a problem, and we'll have that tomorrow.
Do you even bother with the hairspray, Paul?
Not a concern with hair. I think I'll be okay.
Okay, not us. It's time to take a coffee break now. We're starting with why sitting all day may shorten your life.
Okay, so we all know that sitting is
Yes, tell
bad,
us,
right? Do you know how bad it is,
How bad is it?
Paul?
I don't know. Now
Let
I
me
feel
read
like I
you
need
the
to
list,
stand.
okay? Heart disease, damage to your joints, muscle pain, metabolism issues, mental health issues, lower back pain, weight gain, type 2 diabetes. How about
Not as
that?
bad as I thought.
Okay.
I'll sit down and relax.
And even the risk for heart disease and stroke even applies to those who exercise regularly, who
That's
sit
not
all
cool.
day. Yeah. And it only takes as little as 30 minutes of uninterrupted sitting to affect how our blood vessels function. So all of these things we think, like standing, doing those standing desks or like taking little breaks, they help, but they're not actually as good as we think for us in terms of reversing the damage. And the longer you sit, the worse the cardiovascular risk, especially for 10 or more hours. Also, your leg and glute muscles stop activating after only 30 minutes of sitting, so that can cause knee and back pain even down the road, not just on that day.
I'm never sitting again.
Explains so much, right? If you sit for work, you may have to be even more active than the recommended exercise amount. So they're saying if you sit at work all day, try to take breaks, set an alarm. Obviously, we've heard these things before, easier said than done. And also, you have to increase your exercise in order to reverse the effects to 60 minutes a day.
Okay.
Not like 60 minutes a week.
Well, I know that my watch alerts me every day at I think it's at 50. Like 10 minutes
tells you
so that it
every
tells me
hour.
like get up and do.
Okay.
But everybody acts like I'm crazy when I start standing up in here. So now
I like
I'm
the
not
little
so
arm
crazy.
exercises you do.
Yeah, I do a little. That's not really standing, but it kicks it off.
Yeah.
The alert.
At least it's
Like
some sort
Billy
of
Blanks,
activity.
the-
Yeah, I
what's
do a
that?
little Billy
Tybo?
Blank, Tybo
Nice.
coming at you.
All right.
Well, I mean, I guess those of you who sit behind the desk have to work a little harder than those of you who are on the weather wall.
At least for standing, yeah. Now I'm never going to sit for weathercats again. I feel bad sitting right now. I feel like I'm getting less healthy.
And
by
it's
the minute.
also gotten worse over time for all of us.
But I think they're also looking at you talked about 10 hours. Most of us are not sitting for 10 hours.
I hope not.
Now I'm counting it up in my mind.
Well, even
Might
like
be
sitting, like
7 or
watching
8.
TV, sitting for dinner,
Yeah.
sitting while you're driving. I mean,
Yeah, I guess so.
Tomorrow's study, how standing will also kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
Women's basketball has never been more popular, and the epicenter of college women's basketball this year is not going to be in Iowa. It
It'll
might
be here.
Right here
Yes.
in Los
Oh,
Angeles.
Juju.
I like that.
I have to tell you, during the Olympics in Paris, the women's basketball was so popular. People were clamoring to get in. Men's was too, but it's really been a shift as to how
Yeah.
people are watching the
And
game.
it's usually the stars that do that. Michael Jordan did that. Kobe Bryant did that. LeBron James, Steph Curry. Now we have this new
Yes.
generation, and you know what? There's guys and girls. And Juju Watkins will be added to that list if she hasn't already.
She's
And
fun.
with her name, I feel like there's so many things you can do with good juju.
Yeah,
You know,
good juju,
lots of different
yes.
signs.
Very
and-
cute.
That's awesome.
I like
That's a
that.
t-shirt.
That is a t-shirt. Oh, I better write
Jamie's
that
been
down.
talking about making
I want to
t-shirts.
make t-shirts. It's my new thing. Collins Dictionary crowns Brat word of the year after Charlie XCX album popularity.
I still don't fully get it.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
Brat.
please explain.
Well, it's characterized by a confident and independent attitude. So
Okay.
we're all brats.
That's different
So
from
like the
what
opposite
I
of
would.
demure.
Yeah.
It's
right?
not demure. Demure is more like you're keeping it. You're keeping that confidence
So
to
this
yourself.
Is the opposite.
It used to be a bad thing to be a brat.
That's
yeah.
See, I think negative connotation. when
I
I
like
hear
that we're
Brad.
flipping the script.
We're flipping the script, and I think part of what did it. I picked this one because it's election day. I mean, you think of once it became Brat Summer, that is what they say. It put this over the top because they look at a number of different words, but they said once it became Brat Summer, it ended up being number one. They actually monitor 20 billion words in a database. This particular dictionary. So the other notable words for 2024. I also like this one.
Sus.
No.
Oh.
Sorry, that's so 2023,
Oh, sorry.
Christine.
Sigma.
Nope. Era.
Keep guessing.
As in, we have different eras of
okay.
our life. It was brought about by Taylor Swift and the Eras Tour.
Okay.
We also have anti-tourism, which we've talked about on the show.
Anti-
Oh, I didn't realize it was that popular.
Yes, apparently it became
Bet?
very. No. Raw dogging.
I'm trying, guys.
Raw dogging. I feel like you'd be a good raw dogger.
On a plane?
Yeah.
I just look out the window the entire time.
That's a raw dogger. Congratulations. Other finalists
I didn't know I
included
was one.
brain rot, yapping, supermajority, romanticy, and look smaxing.
Okay. All right.
So there you go.
I guess I'm not as cool as I thought I was.
I have
My
noticed
finger
that,
is
like,
off the pulse of what's
when I
popular.
talk to my friends' teenage kids, all of the negative connotation words are like now cool.
Yes.
Like they've embraced them and flipped
I
them,
know.
including bad words
And when
that
I
were
hear
shocking
them,
to me.
Yes, and when I hear them talk, I'm like, wow, they're so like aggressive in how they talk to one another.
And why do they use finna instead of gonna?
No idea, Christine.
It's the same number of letters. I don't understand. Okay. Well, now we're going to talk about Thanksgiving. Do you know why?
No, I don't really know. I thought I might, but I don't want to like definitively say it. It's just a guess.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about Thanksgiving, which can obviously be like a very awkward gathering if not everybody's on the same page.
Understatement.
Right?
For many
But we're not talking about politics here. We're talking about the food you bring. A woman does not want her sister to bring any homemade food to Thanksgiving dinner. She says the reason why is that her food is borderline inedible.
That's so rude.
I know. Well, one time she
Why
said
is she
she
telling
brought
everyone this?
a special recipe.
'Cause that's what we do now.
Stuffing that was dry and confusing because it had a bunch of different weird flavors in there. Then a green bean casserole that she admitted to using coconut milk and almond flour to experiment, but she said instead it ended up really chewy. So this year, she said bring a non-food item like wine or flowers, and now her sister's offended, claiming she's been shut out. The family's divided over whether this sister should be able to bring what she wants or if the host can specify, because it is in her house and it is her Thanksgiving
Those
meal.
rolls we had in the video
Oh,
look really
I know.
good.
How
I don't
about
think that's what her
thank you
sister
so
made.
much for all your hard work and for contributing to our meal.
As someone who had to live through my great Aunt Ruthie's Thanksgivings every year of my childhood, where there was one time we were in the buffet line and my mom looks at me and says, did a shrimp just fall out of that Jell-O? I have no desire. Like, I would be the person that would be like, just bring a bottle of wine, make it easy on yourself, because people come up with crazy
and no
stuff.
one wants to suffer through. You have to still, like, if it's especially a small Thanksgiving, it's weird if you don't take from your sister, like if no one eats it.
Yes.
My sister-in-law who lives in Texas isn't watching this, so I can say this. And they're divorced now, so I can also say
It's
it.
not being recorded at all, so don't worry. This isn't
please
this
continue.
isn't live television.
My husband and his brother always talk about the year that she hosted, and she made a completely vegan Thanksgiving meal, and they said it was terrible, and everybody sat there like with this weird look on their face, and it was so awkward. So, and they're still talking about it. It's been like 20 years. So I say, if her food really is that bad, then just, lean into it. Like, I'm not a great cook, so I bake.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's today's coffee
I just
break.
want turkey now.
Now you can get your Kcal news, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.